Welcome back to the channel. My name is Coach Ben. Episode 3 of a rant. Today's topic is the college athletic season. Stick around. So as I mentioned in the intro, today's topic is the college athletic season, okay? Now this is a bit of an interesting topic because I am a college coach. So I do have my gripes, and this is kind of coming from experience of both playing and coaching in a college season. If you don't know, a college season typically starts in August and you end up playing all the fall season, and then you typically have your playoffs if you make it in maybe end of December, end of November, okay? That's it. So August, September, October, November, maybe December if something gets postponed. So you're looking at 5 months out of a year of really competitive peak fitness soccer, okay? Where you're looking at tactical stuff, you're preparing for every opponent, you're studying, you're analyzing, you're working hard. 5 months, okay? And then you have a winter break, and then you come back and you have your spring season, where depending on your institution, depending on the league, depending on the conference you're in, you could have 2 to 3, maybe 4 spring games from outside opponents, okay? And this is where my problem lies, and this is talking primarily to American universities because they're all structured the same way, okay? No one has their season in the spring, everyone has it in the fall. It's considered a fall sport. Now, if the US really wants to produce great athletes, they're not going to college. Very limited, very few, they're gonna go to college. But look at all the current men's roster, US men's national team. They're all overseas by the time they're 18, younger than that, okay? Very few college athletes make it to the US men's national team, very few, okay? They all enter into academies, or they drop out of college and they pursue it, or they get drafted, you know, or they're like the best players going into college. They play 1 year and then they get drafted, you know? So very few of them make it that high, okay? So my problem with this is once the spring, and this is really where the rant comes in, is that once the college season finishes, right? Now you have this big off season where kids are losing their fitness, they're losing their work on the ball, they're losing their touch, their technical ability. Everything starts to slowly decrease because the intensity that you have in this fall is not matched and it's not comparable to the spring because you're not playing week in, week out. You're not playing games every Wednesday or Sunday or every Sunday. You know, you're not playing on a regular basis. You're just mostly doing fitness maybe 3 times a week, maybe 5 times a week, depending on your institution. And then you have to think about, if you're a determined player in college, you're gonna be playing at some, you know, NPSL or PDL team or something like that during the spring and summer times. My problem with this is, and I wish we would just do it across the board, is scrapping the college season, the structure that we have now, and just making an entire 12-month season. You'd have less injuries. Your players would probably develop better. We'd probably produce more athletes going from college to the professional level and overseas. You'd be able to bring in better talent. Your players would be less stressed because they're not trying to cram everything into the fall season. Most guys go in there and they see one season of like the fall and they're like, well, what do we do in the spring? And maybe they drop out. And I think it would put us on par with the rest of the world because the rest of the world does 9 months out of 12. I think that's one of the biggest problems is that when you get to college, right? You go from high school to college to professional. When you get to high school, you are playing a certain style depending on your coach, okay? You learn the game a certain way. Then when you get to college, you have to learn the game an entirely new way, which is fine because every coach is different, but you're learning a different method and a different style. And then the next fall, you're learning something new. Maybe you're relearning that, but there's a long delay of like the tactical work and the game analysis that you do in the fall versus the spring. So if we had a 12-month or a 9-month season, then our players would be mentally and our players developmentally would be better over 9 months versus cramming everything into a 4-month season and then giving them 6-7 months off before the next season comes. Our players would be in better peak fitness in the fall and in the spring versus just in the fall, and now they're waiting till the next spring to get that match fitness back and that sharpness that you have during season, which you don't have during the spring. Our players would be better off getting contracts or playing overseas or playing professionally if they're playing year round, because now if a kid finishes his fall season and he doesn't have anything in the spring and he's a senior, now he has to work by himself, maybe go find a team to play for so he can keep that competitive edge because he wants to go to the next level. Another big factor would be if a kid gets an injury in the fall, right? And say his recovery is 4 months, his season's done. He's not going to play unless they make the playoffs. If they even make the playoffs and he comes back, he's not match fit, he doesn't have any minutes under his belt. If we had a whole year, he come back in 4 months, he come back in December, he starts playing in January, he still has half his senior year left. The problem is, and this is the second, I guess this would be the second part of the rant, is that Americans, we love to Americanize everything. We're taking football, the world's greatest game, the only game in the world played by almost every country, and we're Americanizing it. So we're taking soccer, see, soccer. We're taking soccer and we're capping it like we do every other sport. Football's 4 or 5 months, baseball's 4 or 5 months. All college sports are 4 to 5 months. I understand the reasoning because you have a 9-month academic season. You're limited by the number of sports that you can play. I understand that. My problem is you can't Americanize it. That's the thing. You just have to accept it and make it globally. Now, Division I soccer, they were talking about making a 9-month season. I hope that works out. I just wish for the better of the game, that's the only way that we're going to improve as a country producing athletes, by having them play year round. You know, I got to end the rant here because I could just talk for days and days and days about this. If you share the same sentiment, drop a comment below about what you think would fix college soccer. If you have any tips, if you play overseas, what is enticing about coming to play in a college season? I'm curious to know because I don't think there's a right answer. I think the right answer on a broader scale would be making it more like the rest of the world in terms of how long we play. But the reality is, it's America. So that's the end of the rant. If you guys have any questions or if you guys want to leave a comment, drop it down below. If you guys want to reach out to me for anything coaching, playing related wise, hit me an email, shoot me an email. My link's in the description. Follow me on Instagram. Check it all out. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next rant. Peace.